Our story begins in a quiet corner of Ukraine, where Mikola lives a life defined by simplicity. He's an eccentric, sure living in a hand-built eco-home with no electricity, far from the noise of the world. His wife, Nastia, is his perfect match, a soulful artist who carves wooden statues that she believes carry protective spirits. Mikola spends his days teaching math, patiently enduring the taunts of a rich, arrogant student named Avon. To Mikola, numbers make sense. They are logical and peaceful, but the world outside his classroom is becoming very chaotic and very loud. The first sign that life is about to change comes from a flickering TV screen in the school hallway. Russia has invaded. The news feels distant until Mikola is cycling home and spots two soldiers in unfamiliar uniforms. He tries to tell himself it's just a change in government gear, a desperate lie to maintain his peace of mind. But when he reaches his school the next day and finds the hallways echoing with silence, the dread finally sets in. Not a single child has shown up. The logic of his world is failing. He races home on his bicycle, his heart hammering against his ribs. He's not just worried about his house, he's worried about Nastia, who is carrying their unborn child. But he's too late. As he rounds the corner, he sees the nightmare in progress. Two Russian soldiers are inside his home, and they aren't looking for supplies. They're looking for sport. Mikola begs, he pleads, he tells them his wife is pregnant, but mercy is a language these men don't speak. In a fit of senseless rage, they set the house on fire. When Nastia, fueled by a mother's instinct, tries to fight back with nothing but a stone, a single gunshot ends her life and the life of their child. Mikola is left holding her cooling body as his entire world burns to ash. In that moment, the math teacher is gone. The man who hated guns is replaced by a vessel of pure, cold vengeance. When Ukrainian soldiers arrive to help him bury his family, they don't see a victim, they see a man who has nothing left to lose. And a man with nothing to lose is the most dangerous weapon on a battlefield. Mikola makes a simple request: take me with you. He leaves the ruins of his life with only one thing: a small wooden statue carved by Nastia. A final gift meant to protect him. At the military base, the reception is cold. The commander looks at this middle-aged teacher and sees a liability, maybe even a spy. But Mikola's eyes tell a different story. He tells him he has no reason to live except to see the men who did this erased from the earth. Touched by his raw grief, the officer lets him train. It's a disaster at first. While young recruits are snapping rifles together in seconds, Mikola is fumbling, his hands used to chalk, not cold steel. The other soldiers laugh. They call him a pacifist and mock his slow pace, but they don't realize that a math teacher understands something they don't: trajectory, windage, and the absolute precision of a calculated strike. One night, Mikola tells his senior he wants a code name, Raven. The camp erupts in laughter. You don't pick a name like that, you earn it through blood. Mikola doesn't argue, he just starts practicing while everyone else sleeps. When the army announces a need for snipers, the laughter returns. A sniper needs to be a ghost, a master of focus. To test him, the commander challenges him to assemble a rifle in 20 seconds. Mikola doesn't just do it, he blindfolds himself and finishes in 18. The laughter stops. The Raven is starting to find his wings. The training is brutal. They are forced to stay perfectly still while live rounds are fired inches from their heads. Any flinch, and you're out. Mikola sits like a statue, his mind locked on the memory of the fire. But the real test comes during a night exercise. The recruits are told to hit a target illuminated only by a fleeting flare. Everyone misses, firing wildly into the dark. But Mikola waits. He uses the first flare not to shoot, but to calculate. He does the math in his head. Distance, drop, the speed of light against the shadow. When the second flare goes up, he fires a single perfect shot. The commander is stunned. No one has ever done that. The codename Raven isn't a joke anymore, it's a warning. His first mission takes him back to the reality of the front lines. His team is tasked with clearing a checkpoint. As he lies in wait, he watches Russian soldiers beating civilians over something as trivial as a passport. It's a mirror of his own tragedy. When the order to fire comes, Mikola doesn't hesitate. He realizes that being a sniper isn't just about killing, it's about being the hand of justice that arrives from the shadows. They succeed, but the victory is short-lived. Word reaches the base that a Russian elite sniper named Siri, the best in their army, is hunting Ukrainian soldiers and posting videos of his kills to break their morale. On the next mission, the stakes get personal. Mikola spots a group of Russian soldiers, and among them is Avon, his former student. The boy who used to bully him is now the enemy. For a second, the teacher in Mikola resurfaces. He hesitates, but then he remembers that Avon chose this path. He doesn't shoot the boy directly. Instead, he targets a nearby landmine. The resulting explosion clears the field, but the hesitation costs them. The chaos draws the attention of Siri, the Russian legend. In the blink of an eye, Mikola's commander, the man who became his mentor, is killed by a perfect headshot. The guilt nearly destroys Mikola. His mistake, his moment of emotion, cost a good man his life. He vows that Siri will be his final lesson. The army crafts a plan to draw the Russian ghost out. It's a two-team diversion, but Mikola knows that to kill a predator like Siri, you have to enter his den. He infiltrates the building where Siri is perched, moving through the halls like a shadow. Siri is arrogant. He thinks he's the hunter, but he realizes too late that the building is quiet. Too quiet. Siri finds a dead comrade on the roof and panics. He calls for backup, but he's already trapped. As he sits at his desk, trying to regain his composure, he notices something out of place. A small wooden statue is sitting right in front of him. It's nasty as carving. Before the realization can even register, Mikola emerges from the darkness. There's no long speech, no dramatic pause, just the cold, sharp end of a blade. The Raven has collected his debt. When the Russian reinforcements arrive, they find their legend dead. Mikola picks up the radio and gives them a final message. They are all going to die. He then picks off the driver of their truck, turning the rescue mission into a massacre. The teacher, who once couldn't raise a hand, has become the most feared man on the front. In the end, Mikola returns to the one place where he can finally find peace. Nasty as grave. He stands there, not as a teacher or a hero, but as a man who finished the equation. He has killed everyone responsible for his pain. But the silence of the graveyard reminds him that revenge doesn't bring back the dead. It only protects the living. He salutes his wife and disappears back into the trees, a ghost that will haunt the enemy until the war is won. It makes you wonder, if everything you loved was taken away in an instant, would you have the strength to stay peaceful? Or would you find a raven hidden inside yourself? Let me know in the comments if you think Mikola was right to seek revenge, or if he lost his soul in the process. Thanks for watching.